Alicia, my name's April. I'm going to be acting as your counselor today. Do you like to go by Alicia, or is there another name you'd like me to call you by?
I mean, doesn't really matter to me.
Okay, well, I just want to get to know you a little bit. Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm 17. I'm in high school. I have a boyfriend.
That's
you know,
cool.
the usual.
The usual. Okay, usual 17-year-old. I got it. So, do you know why you're here today?
Is it because of my grades?
I mean, yeah, that's a part of it, but I really just want to touch base with you and see how you're going. I know life has been a little bit rough right now for you. There's a bunch of different things that have been kind of storming about, and your mom was the one who actually contacted me, and she's a little bit worried about you.
Well, my mom doesn't really know that much about my life.
Okay. Do you talk to your mom pretty often?
I mean, sometimes, she works a lot, so I take care of my siblings, but, she's the head of the household, so,
Okay, yeah. Do you feel like you ever have time for, you to just talk to your mom just one-on-one?
No, not really. I know that she loves me, but, I have to do a lot of stuff around the house. It's whatever.
I mean, that is pretty difficult for a 17-year-old, though. I mean, you probably just want to be hanging out with your friends and, doing normal teenage stuff. And it kind of sucks that you have to, be a little bit more of the responsible one and driving your siblings around and getting groceries and whatnot. But, it's really admirable that you are doing those things. Not a lot of other teenagers in your position would be okay with doing that. Do you think possibly if you spoke to your mom and said, hey, can we just talk, that she would reciprocate?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well, I think that she would because, she came to me, obviously, because she wanted to make sure that you were doing okay. And I don't want to sound rude or anything, but there are a few red flags as to why your mom would be a little bit worried about you, Alicia. Do we want to talk about those a little bit?
I guess.
Okay. Let's start first with how your grades are doing. I know that's kind of a rough subject. It's not really something you probably want to talk about, especially, I know that you're flunking a couple of classes, and I know that doesn't feel good. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm in the after school program, but I think that I can get the grade up myself, so I'm not really too worried about it.
Okay, so you think you can do better. We know that right now you're flunking math and you are also flunking English. Can you give me a reason why? If you know that you can do better, why are you choosing not to do your assignments? And why are you choosing to sit in the back during this after school program and watching videos instead of working on your homework?
Well, I don't know, there's just other things in my life that are more important right now, like my family and my boyfriend.
Okay, you're talking a lot about the present. You want to feel good right now, right? I mean, there's obviously a lot of stressors in your life. Your parents have separated and now there's a lot of responsibilities on you, so I can understand why you would just rather be with your boyfriend or working to making sure that your siblings are okay than maybe keeping up on your studies.
Mhm.
Is that right? Does that sound about right?
I mean, yeah, and I've kind of lost interest in school. My friends I'm not really connecting with them right now. They're a little immature, so I'm feeling like school's a little immature right now.
Okay, yeah, I mean, obviously if your friends aren't going through the same things, and if you're feeling like you're at a different position in your life, some of the drama or maybe some of the things that they talk about might feel a little bit immature and meaningless. And it's hard to go through high school without having friends. I mean, a lot of what you're doing is a social interaction. But again, we are talking about the present. I want to talk a little bit about the future. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Alicia?
I don't know. I might still be at home. You know, my mom needs help, and my boyfriend lives here, and he works here, so I might just stay here after school.
Do you think you would just get a job working in a restaurant after that, or?
Maybe, you know.
Okay.
A lot of people do that now, so I think it's okay.
Do you think there's a little part of you that maybe would, I don't know, want to pursue technical college or pursue something that might earn a little bit more income? Because with a little more income, you know, you could definitely help out your mom and your siblings. Do you know if your siblings might want to go to college one day or might want to pursue something different?
I don't know, they might. They're pretty bright, but I don't think we can afford it.
Okay, you know, money comes and money goes, but an education is something that's going to stick with you for life. If that's something you want to pursue, I don't want you to think about money, because we can find scholarships for you. That is something we can do. If you feel like you want to go to cosmetology school, or if you feel like maybe there's something bigger for you out there, we can find ways to make that happen, Alicia. You don't have to limit yourself.
Can I stay close to home?
Of course. I mean, there's community college options. But I want to know if you're interested in that.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, obviously you're probably interested in more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And education is that next step to having a higher income. But what's also a good next step to getting into college is maybe raising your grades a little bit. You know, you want to graduate high school, don't you?
I guess, you know.
Yeah? I mean, your boyfriend works in a restaurant. How does he like that?
I think he likes it okay. I mean, it's hard work, but he enjoys his coworkers. They have fun together and party and stuff.
Okay. Do you ever... Okay. I mean, if you're having fun at the moment, I guess that's fine, but have you talked to him about what he thinks about in the future?
He's never really said much about it. He might want to own the restaurant someday.
Okay, that's great. So your boyfriend has goals. It's really important to establish like a mindset for the future. I know it's really hard to do that sometimes, especially when you're 17 years old and a lot is happening in your life to think about what the future looks like. But you know, maybe if your boyfriend wants to own a restaurant, maybe you want to earn a business degree. Maybe he wants to earn a business degree.
Mm.
Do you think that would be helpful for the future?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about maybe like getting your grades up. I understand that you don't think that you need to be in this after school program, so you don't really feel like, you know, it's a good use of your time, so maybe you want to watch some videos and whatnot, but I see that you're actually having an exam coming up in your English class. If you were able to finish this book that you're working on, I believe it's To Kill a Mockingbird, is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and I know that you have an exam with that. If you were able to get at least a B, you would move your grade up to a C. That could do a lot for your GPA.
Yeah.
Have you started reading the book?
A little bit of it.
Okay.
I watched the movie.
I mean, that's a first step. If you can, it's pretty easy. You know, there's other options too. You could also listen to the audiobook. Have you thought about doing that?
No, but that might be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, especially with your busy lifestyle, with you driving your siblings around and, cooking and whatnot, an audiobook for To Kill a Mockingbird could really help you in passing this class. Do you think that's something that you might be able to do?
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Okay. So let's say you do get this higher grade and you are able to get a C in English. That would boost your grade up a little bit. You could also possibly work on your algebra. I know that's another class that you're struggling in. Why are you struggling in that class? Can you tell me?
I don't know, sometimes it's just like the teacher, I just don't understand her. But sometimes I do, and I just get preoccupied with other things.
Okay. Other things like,
Just thinking about home and my siblings.
okay. How often do you think about yourself, Alicia?
I don't know. Sometimes.
Okay. I mean, I hear you talking about other people quite a bit. It's really important to think about yourself too.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you tell me something that you like about yourself?
I like when I run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that you did track and field for a little while. But you recently dropped out of it. Is that because of all the pressures in your household and whatnot?
I mean, yeah, I just felt like I had other things to do, and sports get expensive, so I just thought I should drop it.
Okay. But I know your mom was concerned when that happened, and I mean, you also make a lot of friends while you're in a sport. Do you think maybe you would be interested in, I don't know, maybe if track and field isn't something that you're interested in doing all the time, could you possibly set aside some time for yourself in the morning to run, if that's something that you enjoy doing and makes you feel a little bit happier with yourself?
Probably.
Okay. Well, that's something you can work on. I just want to write down a few things from what we said so far, some stuff that maybe you could work on. But most importantly, what we want to do is make sure you're working on yourself. And so, working on yourself, you're going to start possibly running again, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think that might boost your self-esteem a little bit?
I don't know. Maybe. I've probably gained a little weight since I've quit.
Oh, well, I mean, we all gain weight. Yeah, that's not something you should be concerned about right now, Alicia.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so possibly running. I mean, that's something to help you relieve stress, and that's something you really need to do right now, especially with your hectic lifestyle. What are some other things that we talked about?
Getting the audiobook for that book.
Which book?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, great. And getting that grade up, is that something that you're actually interested in, or are you just kind of patronizing me a little bit?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I really want to make sure that you actually feel like you can do this. I want you to feel like you can conquer anything, because your happiness is important too. I know that you're worried about your mom and your siblings and whatnot, but you also need to be worried about yourself. You need to know that you matter, okay?
Okay.
So I want to be here for you. I'm going to write down some things that you can look at, and things that you can remind yourself to do, like running and buying that audiobook, and I'm going to print that out and give that to you at the end of our session. And once you get your grades up, I want you to come back here so that we can possibly work on getting you maybe excited for college.
Okay.
Is that something that you'd be interested in?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I think that's all of our time right now. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, Thank you so much, Alicia, for your time. I'll see you next session.